Good morning, dear Marco. As you can see, it is now 13 minutes past 4 in the morning. Welcome to my class, even though this is dated for the 16th. What we'll be doing today is irony. I'm not going to treat you as though you are a grade 9 learner. I teach them anyway, and I have been for the past 4 or 5 years or so. Please welcome to my class. I teach online, as you can see, so even though my practicals was done at Brandbach Hoërskool, I've obtained permission from Mrs. Smith to do it this way, and I'm quite excited about it. So, irony, what are the outcomes for this lesson? You will learn to appreciate artistic humor. You will learn to understand irony as a literary device, and you will learn to distinguish between 3 kinds of irony: verbal irony, situational irony, and dramatic irony. What will we be doing? You'll watch, well, you're not going to watch the explanatory video of what those 3 types of irony are. That's just there for the grade 9s. And then you're going to engage in an activity in which I'm not going to speak much, if at all, because this is sort of a learning or an assessment as learning exercise. And you'll be completing that. I'll be completing it on your part. It would have been ideal if you had access to my portal, but unfortunately you do not. As you can hear, I'm rushing this because I only have so much time. Right, this is the little video that I put here for my learners. This is what I usually do. It's actually quite a lovely little tool to have. It gives me time to focus on other stuff as well during the lesson and watch my learners on screen and so on. What you need to know for this lesson to make sense of it is the following. Situational irony is, this occurs when there is a discrepancy between what is expected to happen and what actually happens. The outcome is often surprising or contrary to what is anticipated. Very important word, that, anticipated. Verbal irony. This is when someone says something but means the opposite, often for humorous or sarcastic effect. We'll see some of that as well, but not much. Dramatic irony. This occurs when the audience, you and me, knows something that the characters do not, creating tension and humor. Right. Now, please go to the little exercise at the bottom. I love compiling this. It took me a good 6 hours to do it. I'm not going to say much. Enjoy.
I can't.
Wayne, merry-go-round?
I can't. I'm the best man.
Best man. What is the best man normally referred to? A title given to the winner of sports competition, a superhero in a comic book series, a male friend or a relative who assists the groom at a wedding, a judge in a courtroom. Ta-da! Oh, and this, by the way, is a scene from Seinfeld. People think this was just silly humor. It is not. It is brilliant. Why is it ironic when Elaine says that she is the best man? Because she forgot the wedding date? Because she is not close to the groom? Because she is not good at organizing events? Or because best man traditionally refers to a male and Elaine is a woman? Interesting little moment that. What was Jerry's question when the scene opened? Elaine, merry-go-round? Where are you going? No, it was Elaine, merry-go-round. This is an interesting little line. We'll get back to that later. Why do they leave her there? They are leaving for the merry-go-round. That happens to be true. However, they do not want to go to the wedding, do they? No, they don't, but we'll see why later. Is there therefore any irony in this situation? Yes, I think no. But we don't know why they don't want to go to the wedding yet. This builds the irony of what is to come.
See ya.
I started riding these trains in the 40s. Those days a man would give up his seat for a woman. Now now we're liberated, we have to stand.
It's ironic.
What's ironic?
This, that we've come all this way, we made all this progress, but, we lost the little things, the niceties.
No, I mean, what does ironic mean?
What is ironic about the situation? More than one option is correct. That women are liberated, but now they have to stand? Yeah, I would say so. The fact that the woman doesn't know what irony is? Oh, definitely. That women have lost the niceties in favor of being equal? Definitely. That men are sitting while the women stand? Maybe, perhaps from the old woman's point of view, because that's a frame of reference, but certainly not for Elaine.
With such a nice present, huh? Birthday party?
A wedding.
A wedding?
Yeah.
I didn't think people still get married.
Right, now it starts getting interesting. Elaine says she's going to a wedding. The woman responds with, I didn't think people still get married. What kind of irony is this, and why? Is it verbal irony because the woman is saying the opposite of what she means? No. Is it situational irony because the expectation that people no longer marry is contradicted by the fact that Elaine is attending a wedding? Certainly seems possible. Dramatic irony because the audience knows something that the characters don't. No, we're not quite there yet. Explanation. It is situational irony because the woman expresses surprise or disbelief that people still get married, yet Elaine is clearly going to a wedding, an event that proves the opposite.
Oh, it's hard today with the men and women.
Oh, you're telling me.
So,
Right. This is a setup. We are currently being set up for something that's going to follow. The woman says, it's hard today with the men and women. Elaine says, you're telling me, and this sets us up for irony that is coming.
they're a nice couple.
Oh, very nice.
What does he do, if you don't mind my asking?
Aha. What does he do? Very nice couple. We've learnt about bias already in previous lessons. Now this lady is making an assumption here, just as you and I are when we first see this thing. Not true? Absolutely.
She works, he doesn't. He sounds like my son.
Aha. She works, he doesn't. And again she makes an assumption based on her own frame of reference, nay? Yeah.
There is no he.
There's no he. So, who's getting married?
Two women. It's a lesbian wedding.
What kind? Just like you and me, the woman has been assuming all along that Elaine is going to a traditional wedding. Elaine then says she's going to a lesbian wedding between two women. What kind of irony is this, and why? Is it situational irony because the assumption of a traditional wedding is contradicted by the unexpected reality of a same-sex wedding? Is it verbal irony because Elaine is mocking traditional wedding by calling it a wedding? I'm sure many people will think so. Is it dramatic irony because the audience knows it's a lesbian wedding before the characters do? It's certainly not that. Situational. The twist challenges conventional expectations. Ah, there we are. We've got that word again. Which is the essence of situational irony.
Lesbian wedding?
Uh-huh. Yep. Yep. I'm the best man.
Is it still ironic? When Elaine said to Jerry at the beginning that she's the best man at a wedding, it is ironic. Is it still ironic, however, when she tells the same thing to the lady on the train after she reveals it's as a lesbian wedding? Now this gets us into layers of irony and how context can shift its effect. Now let's break it down quickly. The initial situation is Elaine tells Jerry she's the best man at a wedding. Irony type, definitely situational. Why? The term best man traditionally refers to a male role in a heterosexual wedding. Elaine, being a woman, subverts that expectation, creating irony. The later situation, Elaine tells the woman on the train she's the best man at a lesbian wedding. Is it still ironic? Yes, it is, but the irony now shifts. How the irony changes. It's still situational only, but now it's more layered and self-aware. The woman on the train assumes a traditional wedding. Elaine's role as best man at a non-traditional lesbian wedding adds a twist to the already ironic title. The irony now includes the audience's awareness. Audience's awareness. Now remember, we've been set up of how social roles and expectations are being challenged. It also flirts a little with verbal irony given Elaine's tone. She's clearly aware of how ironic it is, as it is shown in her involuntary physical response when disclosing this fact to the woman. So the conclusion then is, it's still ironic, but the type and depth of irony evolve. Initially, it's ironic because of gender expectations. Later, it becomes a commentary on social norms, and the irony is heightened by the contrast between the woman's assumptions and the reality that Elaine reveals. I just love that moment when she has that little thingy there. It's so weird. Just have a look again.
The best man.
That's brilliant. She's such a great actress.
Great.
That's not supposed to.
My luck, I don't talk to a soul on the subway for 35 years. I get the best man at a lesbian wedding.
No, you don't understand. I'm not a lesbian. I hate men, but I'm not a lesbian.
Interesting, right? What kind? Elaine says that she hates men, but she's not a lesbian. What kind of irony is this, and why? Because she says she hates men, but she's not a lesbian? Is it situational irony because the expectation that someone who hates men might be a lesbian is contradicted by Elaine's actual identity? Or is it dramatic irony because the audience knows Elaine is secretly a lesbian? No, they never do. It's situational.
I'm really looking forward to this. I love weddings. Maybe I'll meet somebody.
Elaine stands in a train full of people and thinks that maybe she'll meet somebody at the wedding. What kind of irony is this, and why? Is it verbal because she doesn't actually want to meet anyone? Is it dramatic because the audience knows she will meet someone on the train, not at the wedding? Situational because she's surrounded by people but expects to meet someone later at a different event? Certainly that is.
Maybe not.
This is a fantastic moment in this whole scene. Look at it. Consider the moment. It is ironic, this moment, and it's a great example of situational irony. Why is it ironic? Elaine is in a crowded train feeling uncomfortable and pessimistic. She briefly entertains the idea that she might meet someone at this wedding, then immediately thinks, maybe not. And just as she gives up on the idea of connection or progress, the train suddenly stops. It is situational, because the outcome, the train coming to a halt directly and unexpectedly, mirrors her internal doubt. The physical standstill reflects her emotional and social standstill in a way that's both unexpected and symbolically rich, and we'll look at that just now. Why does this work? It is unexpected, it is symbolic, and it is darkly humorous. It is wonderfully contrived. It's just beautiful. Now read the text below, blah, blah, blah. We're going to do that quick. Let's dive into the discussion of the symbolism and the character psychology. The moment Elaine thinks maybe not, and then the train comes to a standstill. The symbolism in this is, the train is a symbol of progress and connection. Trains often symbolize movement, momentum of life's journey, and she is in fact on her way to someone else's life journey. Elaine is physically on the train, but also metaphorically on a journey, perhaps towards connection, change, self-discovery, we don't know. The sudden stop as a symbol of emotional or social stagnation. Well, when the train stops, just after she thinks maybe not, it mirrors her emotional resignation. She resigns to the idea that she's not going to meet someone. It's as if the universe is echoing her doubt, reinforcing the idea that hope or progress is being halted both literally and figuratively. The crowd is a symbol of isolation and closeness, or in closeness. Despite being surrounded by people, Elaine feels disconnected, even repulsed. This reflects the deeper theme. Now we'll see this later. This reflects a deeper theme, urban loneliness, being physically close to others but emotionally distant. The character psychology, Elaine's inner conflict, her fleeting hope, maybe I'll meet someone, is immediately undercut by her own cynicism, maybe not. And this shows a defense mechanism. She shuts down hope before it can disappoint her. anxiety and control. Her discomfort in the crowded train and her exaggerated reaction, as you'll see just now, suggest a need for control in a chaotic environment. The train stopping intensifies a sense of entrapment, both physically and emotionally. Projection and imagination. This is such an interesting Freudian thing. Elaine's mind runs wild. She imagines people as animals, feels trapped, and lashes out internally. She shows how her perception is shaped by her emotional state, not just the reality around her. Why is this brilliant writing? And it is brilliant. Brilliant. If you start analyzing this little scene over and over, it's just amazing what these people came up with. This moment is a microcosm of Elaine's character. Witty, self-aware, but she's emotionally guarded, surrounded by people yet isolated, hoping for connection but sabotaging it with doubt. And the train, it's not just a setting, it's a mirror of her inner world. So much in such a small little moment. Let's continue.
Oh, man. We're stopping? Oh, this is great. This is what I need. Just what I need.
Aha. Elaine says, this is great, this is what I need, just what I need, in a clearly frustrated and sarcastic tone. What kind of irony is this? It's not situational, it's not dramatic, it is verbal. Why? Because she says the opposite of what she actually means.
Okay, take it easy. I'm sure it's nothing. Probably rats on the track. They're stopping for rats. God, it's so...
What kind? Okay, take it easy. I'm sure it's nothing. Probably rats on the track. They're stopping for rats. What kind of irony is this? Situational, because the idea of a train stopping for rats is unexpected and absurd. Is it verbal? Is it dramatic? None of those really suffice. There we go. Ooh, I've got this wrong. Maybe I did not actually click it. Sorry, this actually happens with technology every now and then. It is situational irony. I apologize, student. There we go.
So crowded. How could there be so many people? This guy really smells. Doesn't anyone use deodorant in the city? What is so hard? You take the cap off, you roll it on. What's that? I feel something rubbing against me. These disgusting animals. These people should be in a cage. We are in a cage.
Plenty of irony in these lines. Let's have a look. Dramatic irony because the audience knows the speaker's overreacting? No, it's not that. It's situational because the speaker, surrounded by people in close quarters, imagines them as animals and ironically describes the situation they are literally part of. This is situational irony because the speaker is overwhelmed by the crowded train, imagines them as disgusting and say they belong in a cage, and she is literally in that very situation herself.
What if I miss the wedding? I got the ring. What'd they do? You can't get married without a ring. Oh, I can't breathe. I feel faint. Okay, take it easy. It'll start moving soon. Think about people in concentration camps, what they went through. And the hostages. What would you do if you were a hostage? Think about that. This is nothing. No, it's not nothing. It's something. It's a nightmare. Help me. Move it. Come on, move this.
That's brilliant. I didn't even put in that it's ironic that her own internal thinking is being censored. I mean, that's not even possible, surely. That's ironic. Now, let's look at this one. Is this ironic? Because, let's see, I don't know why my things are suddenly beginning to pop up automatically, but there we go. This is situational irony because her intense reaction contrasts with the calmness of everyone else in the same situation. That is why it's ironic. Nobody else is in that state. It's just Elaine.
Hey, why isn't it moving? What could go wrong with the train? It's on tracks. There's no traffic. How could a train get stuck? Step on the gas. What could it be? You think the conductor would explain it to us? I'm sorry, there's a delay. We'll be moving in 5 minutes. I want to hear a voice. What's that on my leg?
Why couldn't I take a cab? For $6, my whole life could have changed. What is that on my leg? I'll never get out of here. What if I'm here for the rest of my life? Maybe I'll get out in 5 seconds. 1 banana, 2 banana, 3 banana, 4 banana, 5 banana. No, I'm still here. Still here. When will they start moving? Move! It's moving! It's moving! Yes! Yes!
Look at what we won. You won him?
Get that out of my face.
So you missed the wedding. You'll catch the bris.
Ah. Because Jerry was supposed, blah, blah, Jerry exclaims that Elaine missed the wedding. What is the situational irony in that? Well, she went through all of that trouble, all of that stress, all of that internal turmoil, and what happened? She didn't even get to go. It's ironic. It's situational. What kind? Okay, this was supposed to be a full-in. I really don't know why this happened. And I don't have the time to redo this now. So I wanted to up the ante a little over here because I came to realize when I watched this scene for the first time, I came to realize that if this was a lesson all by itself in what irony is, because remember that lady says in the very beginning, what's irony? And then she doesn't know what irony is or what's ironic. It's hilarious. And then the one moment after the next just follows, where this whole scene keeps showing you what irony is. And I wondered how many people actually realize that while they watch this thing, you know? Do they actually see that? Do they understand how brilliantly written this actually is? Yeah, so that is what I wanted to share with you, ma'am, or sir, or whoever you are. I hope you enjoyed my lesson. I took 6 extra minutes. I trust you will understand. Have a lovely day and thank you for joining me.